Okay, I know y'all can't see these because I can't put my face cam anywhere on the screen, or else I won't be able to read what's on the screen, but I'm gonna read this, and then after I read this, I'll put like face cam on. So this is on ChatGPT. The round of 8 kicks off at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So here's how my lineup looks going into the race next weekend. Christopher Bell still in the playoffs from the Charlotte Roval today. He started the round of 8 strong. Vegas had been a decent track for him. He's finished top 10 there before, and he tends to run better as pressure builds. Ryan Blaney, still in the playoffs. The defending champ, if you count his 2023 title, usually performs well at intermediate tracks like Vegas. Expect him to be a contender for stage points or possibly the win. Bubba Wallace, he was just eliminated. I'll talk to y'all about how I feel about that here in a second. He's out of the playoffs, but will still race at Vegas. Even though he's no longer championship eligible, he could absolutely shake things up. Remember, he won at Vegas in 2022. Carson Hocevar didn't make the playoffs. He'll still be racing too, just not for points in the playoff picture. So my 2 playoff hosts are Bell and Blaney, while Bubba and Hocevar can still play spoiler. Okay, how do I feel about Bubba Wallace? Because earlier when I posted the first YouTube video today, I said in that YouTube video, I was like, man, wait around for Bubba Wallace. He might actually win this race, or at least be able to get through on points. And the reason it's taken so long for me to start filming this video was why I was gonna record my reaction till the end of the race. That's how I was going into today, was to record. But it hit me throughout the whole entire race when I saw how he was running and how not great he was being because of the tire. And he wasn't prepared for that. Nobody was prepared for that tire, but especially Bubba Wallace. I just, on and off throughout the entire race, I just sobbed. On and off the entire, I'm like, I'm gonna start crying again. And when the race was officially over, I just lost it because I knew it was official. He's gone from the playoffs. Now it's see you next year for the playoffs. Yeah, I'll see you next weekend to contend for a win, which he won at Las Vegas before, but now it's just like, if he wins at Las Vegas next weekend, or any of these next upcoming races, it is what it is. He wins. Like, I don't care. Because he doesn't need to win. He doesn't have to win now. He wins, and that's a win. What you do? It'll feel good, but it won't feel as great as it would feel to win and have to do with going for the championship no more. Like, I only have Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell left. And, it sucks. Because when they did that post-race interview where they talked to him for like a minute, you could tell his demeanor was sad. And I could read through him, like, really well. I don't know how I'm able to read him so well, but I was able to read him and I could just tell. This is gonna stink. It hurt. It is hurting him. It's probably hurting me just as much as it's hurting him, except I'm showing it in tears. And obviously, he's not gonna cry. Because there's cameras and everything. That's always his weakness at all. But I can't help it. It seems that bad that I'm crying about it. Because I wanted it that bad. We were in a need to win this racing, and he just couldn't make it happen. Just because earlier, like, I don't even know how I feel about going to Las Vegas next weekend though. Like, I'm only thinking about the Xfinity race. Like, the Cup Series race for Las Vegas is so out of my mind right now. Like, I just want to get the thought of Bubba Wallace not being in the playoffs out of my mind, but definitely not going to be going to sleep tonight. That's for damn sure. I'm just going to be laying in bed, turning, twisting, just going over what he could have done differently. And that's probably what he's going to be doing tonight, too, is not being able to go to sleep, just think about what he could have done differently. And the fact that, well, before we see him for another playoff potential or championship potential, will be a whole year. 2026. 365 days away. That's a lot of days. Or like over 365 days, because we're not even to the championship race this year yet. So it just, yeah, it sucks. But I'll get over this before the next cup race is 7 days. I'll be over this. And I'll just get used to the fact that he's not in the playoffs. We left him in the dust, even though he's right there still, just not racing for the championship no more. How do I feel about the Denny Hamlin incident? To me, Denny Hamlin didn't do nothing there. I don't fault Denny Hamlin for that at all. Surprisingly, Denny Hamlin this race is actually, to me, chill. I think it's because of how shitty he was or how shit he was doing, that he didn't. I'm surprised he didn't really piss anybody off this race, or him be pissed off at somebody this race. Because I was going into this race with that mindset that Denny Hamlin was for fucking sure was gonna piss somebody off this race, or him be pissed off at somebody. But nope. Man, I still am very, 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 very mad at Denny Hamlin, because if it wasn't for Denny Hamlin 7 days ago, Bubba Wallace would have damn sure won that race last weekend, and he wouldn't have been eliminated today. So, but I will still tune into Denny Hamlin's podcast every week. I would tune into the podcast when it comes out tomorrow on YouTube. I just want to know Denny's thoughts on this race, because I feel like that's the only Denny Hamlin's the only like current NASCAR driver who's currently like racing. What I mean by current is who's currently racing a NASCAR Cup that has a podcast and talks about every race every week. Yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a podcast and he talks about it, but he's not a current NASCAR driver. He retired in 2017? So, Denny Hamlin's the only one, so. But want to know, I'm still going to listen to his Denny Hamlin's podcast, because I just want to know a NASCAR driver's thoughts into the past race, yesterday's race, Monday, yesterday, Sunday. So, and he's the only person that does that every week. That is a current NASCAR driver that talks about every race every week. So, that's the only reason I will continue to listen to Denny Hamlin's podcast, even though I'm like pissed off at him, and probably will be pissed off at him for forever. Or until at least next year. That he might just pull the exact same shit again next year. Like he says there was shit to learn from that, but was there? This is why I wish he wasn't retiring in 2027. He was retiring this year. Because I can't. But yeah. It sucks. I'm like really, really like on a scale of 1 to 10. How sad am I about Bubba Wallace? It's like a 10. Like I'm surprised I've been able to keep it together, except for those tears. A couple of minutes, like a minute or two or three ago. I'm surprised I've been able to keep it together so well. recording this video. Like, when I end this video, I'm probably gonna start, like actually, like, crying for real again. Because it's sad. It's something that's sinking in. So when it fully sinks in, that's when I'll, for real, cry for, like, 10 hours straight. And then after those 10 hours of crying straight, my emotion will fully be let out, and I'll be on to next cup race, Las Vegas. Might be hard to watch next week's race because of that fact, but I think the next race after Las Vegas was, I forget which track we're going to next after Las Vegas. I think isn't it like Talladega, I believe, somewhere like that. So that race will, I know for a fact, be a lot easier to watch because it would have already set in. For fuck's sake, sure. For fuck, sure. It would have set in that. But Wallace is out. I'm used to it because it's been like 2 weeks at that point. I'm just gonna focus on the drivers that are in. Who do I hope out of my 2 drivers that are in the playoffs currently? Still, Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell. Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell, who do I think could win the Las Vegas race? I don't know. Like, let me ask ChatGPT and I'll put it on the screen. Okay, y'all can't see me again because I wouldn't be able to see what's on the screen. Okay. Christopher Bell, a strong contender for the Las Vegas race. Finished second at Las Vegas in 2024, leads in laps run at several recent tracks, won 3 races earlier in the 2025 season, has multiple top 5 finishes at intermediate tracks this season, known for strong performance under playoff pressure. His consistency, strong track record, and current momentum give him a slight edge to win. Ryan Blaney, a solid and resilient driver, finished 33rd at Las Vegas in 2024, has a history of strong playoff performances and strong points accumulation. Won at Martinsville in 2024. Multiple top 10 finishes at 1.5 mile tracks this season. Often performs well under high pressure races late in the season. Can contend for the win, but Bell currently has the statistical edge. Okay. So Christopher Bell is most likely to win over Ryan Blaney. When do I think Ryan Blaney gets knocked out of the play? Who do I think out of my drivers are still in the playoffs? So it's only Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell. Who do I think out of those two could get knocked off out of this next round coming up? I don't want to fucking say. I think because Ryan Blaney has won a championship before, he knows what it's like to go really far. Okay, he's gone so far to the point where he's won a championship. So, I hate to say it, but there's a reason Christopher Bell has never won a championship before, and there's a reason Ryan Blaney has. I think Ryan Blaney has it again this year with the championship. I think Ryan Blaney is going to get his second championship win. Out of my 2 drivers that I have left in the playoffs, it's only Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney. I'm going with Ryan Blaney. Christopher Bell gets knocked out this next round. Or do none of them? Do both Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney go to the championship race? Round of 4. I actually don't fucking know. Like, I'm actually so, I'm, like, confused and, like, lost and, like, huh? Like, what happens with the 2 drivers I have left? Don't fucking know. What happens with Bubba Wallace? Does he win another race even though he's not racing for a championship now? Fucking no. I think if anything, if he's lucky, he gets another win, one more win, and that's it for Bubba Wallace. But which racetrack? I don't fucking know. I think Bubba Wallace could win at Las Vegas, but imagine he doesn't. I'm like, that win was you winning. That's just like a week late. You're a week too late on the win. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the race and everything. This is probably a long video. Or longer video than what I posted earlier, so I hope y'all enjoy this longer video. But yeah, it sucks. Shane Van Gisbergen, of course. Why wouldn't Shane Van Gisbergen win a fucking Roval? Why wouldn't he? It's like it's in his DNA to win these races at this point. I think we've learned, especially after today, it's in his DNA. Yeah, but it did shock me when Christopher Bell got the lead for what was that lap? It was under 2 laps. I know that for a fact, right? But I was shocked when he got the lead, and Shane Van Gisbergen lost the lead a lot this race. I'm actually really surprised I was surprised every single time he lost the lead, and I was shocked when Christopher Bell took the lead for a second. I was like, you're like beating Shane Van Gisbergen right now, and I believe it's because Shane Van Gisbergen was having slight issues with his car, but obviously he was able to get his car back in track and win the race. So yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen for the win this week. Yesterday it was Connor Gillis for the win, Xfinity win. Hell yeah, yes. So I have Zillage left, and Zillage. Connor Zillage is the only driver I have in Xfinity that I like. He's my only driver in Xfinity. So I have Connor Zillage left for Xfinity, and I have Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney left for Cup Series playoffs. So here's to hoping Connor Zillage wins the Xfinity Championship, which happens to be on my birthday, November 1st, and then the day after, November 2nd, is the Cup Series Championship. So here's to hoping Christopher Bell or Ryan Blaney takes home the Cup Championship this year. Here's to hoping. But I will see y'all later. On to the Las Vegas race, on to the round of 8. Or, what round are we in? Hang on. Okay, I was right. We're on to the round of 8. Yay. See y'all later. I'm gonna go. Peace, guys. Bye.